What's up, user? What's up, man? What's up, John? User 34218. The bot. What's up, man? All right, I'm going to pull up here. Let's pull up some of these scores. I've got the Georgia Tech game up right now. So we do have some finals. Michigan upsets Oregon 10-0, dominates them. Virginia beats Florida State at home 4-3. Close game. UNC is getting beat in game one against Boston College 6-1. Bottom 9. Ole Miss is beating Florida. Texas is getting dominated by South Carolina 8-1 in the top of the 7th. Vandy's beating Texas A&M 9-8 in the top of the 7th. Auburn's destroying Arkansas 9-1 top 7. Alabama's kind of destroying Oklahoma 10-4 bottom 6. Georgia Tech's basically destroying Cal here with one out still in the top of the first. Man, guys, Cal is bad. Cal is bad, guys. It? What's up, it? Barks, what's up, man? Cal is bad, guys. I don't know if you're watching this game. It's 5-0 in the top of the first for Georgia Tech. One out. And their starter is out of the game. He got one out. And this camera angle is even worse. You can't see anything. Well, we got our first pitching change of the day. We got our first pitching change of the day at the top of the first. Why does my X handle say it? Back on YouTube? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I thought you were some like creepy person with like, it like the book and the movie. I was like, okay, this is weird. Some guy named It on X is chatting. So yeah, that was I was like, okay, this is weird. Kyle with an early lip pillow. Stay tuned for him to start hiccuping, chat. Yeah, probably. That's usually when I eat. I don't know lately, like, because I love spicy food. I eat spicy food like every day. I'm legitimately right now thinking of going and getting a bag of tortilla chips and like the Mateo's hot salsa and just crush that here soon while we're watching the games. Cause it's going to be a, nice try. Mike's the front runner. Okay, nice. I refuse to watch the game with that angle. I played there. I have to watch. Kyle can't handle an ounce of spice. Why do you think he enjoys butter chicken instead of chicken tikka masala? I can handle, like, ask Steve. Ask Steve. You ever get the manager's special at that wing place? I don't know if they even stay at the same hotel at Clemson. But long story short, Steve took out a bunch of guys that were close with Steve with our meal money. Steve didn't pay. And he was like, if you sit at this table, you got to eat the spiciest wing in the restaurant. And he goes, he said, he goes to the waiter. He goes, hey, what's the spiciest wing you got? Anything off the menu? And the guy goes, we got this thing called the manager's special. And it was it was spicy as hell. But like Steve was like, if you sit here, you got to eat one of them. And I think I had like two just to like try to be tough, but they didn't taste good at all. But I love spicy food. Our pitching has been awful this game. Our pitching coach refused to put in a different guy when we were clearly struggling in the second. Yeah. I didn't get to watch the early part. Why does Georgia Tech play in the ACC but has to travel to California? Yeah, I mean, listen, when Cal and Stanford entered the ACC, I think you knew Cal was probably going to be near the bottom, but everyone thought, at that point, Stanford was one of the best teams in the country, like every year. So as an ACC fan, I was like, oh, that's great for the ACC. Like Stanford's like a top 10 team every year. Stanford's been terrible since they entered the ACC. I don't know what's happened. It also doesn't help. This ump has been awful on both sides today. That's tough. But yeah, Texas is getting destroyed. Mott said, I'm in your house somewhere. Are we playing the scare game, Mott? Classic UT education showing. What's up, WBE? Tennessee Vols. Cal is also in the ACC. Hashtag facts. The All Coast Conference now. It's not the Atlantic Coast Conference. It's the All Coast Conference. South Carolina's coach was getting mad at the ump's calls when they were up 6-1. Good evening. We were listening to the JD live interview. Max Galvin's back, baby. That's good for Miami. My sources say they did a land acknowledgement before the game in Cal. Probably. The U is rolling and this freight train won't stop, baby. Well, there's one out in the top of the fifth in this Georgia Tech game. It's now 6-0, and Drew Burress is about to have his second at bat of the inning with one out. Got kind of a sidearm righty in now for Cal, but man. All right, so let's update these scores. So is Boston College closed it out? Boston College does close it out. They win game 1 against UNC in Chapel Hill 6-1. Boston College is legit, guys. Boston College is legit. I can't even watch this dude. This Georgia Tech game is like it's getting boring already. I mean, it's bad baseball. A routine ground ball to the first baseman. He boots it. ACC doesn't even make sense. Not joking this time. My source said it was the first time he's ever seen it at a sporting event. Of course, I believe you, dude. The Canes are about to land and flip the left-handed pitcher from South Carolina. He is about to be our midweek starter next week. Or next year. How are you, Poppy Kyle? What's up, Mercutio? You make a comment about your divorce. Just got in my new apartment post-divorce. Excited to watch some college baseball tonight. Okay. I missed the Strawberry Girl. Yeah, the Strawberry Girl will come in here every once in a while. I turned off the Georgia Tech game after the first inning. Going to be a long weekend. GT game was boring after 3 hitters. Nobody looks like they want to be there. Dude, Cal's team has no life. I mean, it's like the first baseman's booting balls. It's like double, 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 double. 4 doubles, I think, in the inning so far. I'm the only supportive one. Get the boys in the chat. Mott, text the boys, man. Text the boys. Get them in here. Dusty has not been dedicated this year. Yeah, I'm like already bored. I'm like falling asleep. I was really excited. But, you kind of expected it against Cal. They've been really bad in ACC play. But Hetty's in the chat tonight? Nice. George is killing Mississippi State 10-2. South Carolina still up 8-1 on Texas. Vandy is beating. I kind of want to. I might pull up a second game. I might pull up Vandy, Texas. Or sorry, Vandy, Texas A&M. Florida State and Virginia, close game. Virginia won. Alabama's killing Oklahoma 10-4. Which, remember, David last night said he didn't think Alabama was that good of a team. Okay. Auburn destroying Arkansas. Not a lot of tight games. It's really like Virginia, Florida State in the top 25, and Vandy and Texas A&M. And obviously, Virginia game's already over. Bro, I can't even watch this game. It's 2 errors in the inning, 2 errors on routine ground balls for Cal too. No wonder they can't beat anybody. 7-0. Did the Georgia Southern coach get an extension? How? They're terrible. No, that was an April Fool's joke. Damn, y'all smoked Auburn. Yeah, we did. Dusty is a fraud. Yeah, he is. Dusty showed up once last week and complained about fantasy football dudes, then left. Brutal luck. Yeah, he did. And here's another double. Is he gonna try to stretch this? Bro. 30-run ACC game coming for the Jackets? Dude. Wasn't expecting UT to get spanked today. Yeah, I wasn't either. I don't think anybody was. Fundamentals have gone out the window on the left coast. Hashtag she gone. Yeah, Florida Ole Miss is tight. It's, I mean, kind of tight. Goodness gracious, Cal sucks. Yeah, man, this is brutal. They should have been out of this inning. I mean, like, it's like routine errors. They're gonna have to get 5 outs this game. Bird ball running the ACC, dude. Bird ball is legit this year, and I called it. I called it 2 years ago. I said, listen, when he gets his guys in there, like it. I don't want to say I called it, but what I said was like with that offense, teams just aren't used to facing an offense like that, and it creates havoc on a pitching staff, on the defense, and they're just running through the ACC right now. Now they've only won one game against UNC, but like they're on the road in Chapel Hill. It's 3-0 to Alex Hernandez. When Texas offense can't get anything done on offense, it is the most frustrating thing ever. If we capitalized on all our hits, we would be tied. Yeah, and if my aunt had wheels, she'd be a bike, Hyrule. This is why we preach make the routine play at the high school I coach at. Yeah. I mean, shoot, I say that to guys all the time. I say, listen, like in this era, everyone wants to like work on their swing and be the like hit bombs, and that's great. But if you can't play your position at least an average level, you better rake. Well, there's ball 4. Home plate umpire's thinking, my God, this is going to be bad. Nick Donato is the real deal. He doesn't have to recruit big leaguers to mess up some very good college teams. Yeah. Yeah, and trust me, I mean, I know someone really close to Donato, and he talks about how $20 super chat from John. John, you're the best, man. You're my favorite guy in the stream now. Who's winning the College World Series? Dude, you know what? You know what team is looking really good? And again, I'm not going to say Georgia Tech because I'm a home team. That's my home team. That's my team. But out of all the others, you know what team is looking really good right now is Georgia. And I hate to say that, but they are stomping Mississippi State in Starkville. Another really tough place to play. 10-2 in the 6th. Did Kent Schmidt make the only out so far? Kent Schmidt, I hope. Hey, you don't want to be the guy that makes 2 outs in an inning. Yeah, nice try, WBE. Kyle can be bought with super chats. Hashtag drain the swamp. The bot sends a dub. Dude, this bot is my favorite. John's the best bot ever. Wes Mendez got rocked by UVA tonight. He didn't get, I guess, but they only scored 4 runs. It's not like he got rocked. Arizona State will win the College World Series. Okay. I know Burris made it out. Bases loaded walk. Dude, it's 9-0 in the top of the 1st, man. Georgia is very scary right now, looking like they've found a rhythm. Yeah, and you know what? Like that was the question mark going into this weekend is the offense going to be able to do the same thing against Mississippi State? And I think we've answered that. Oh, and 2 pitching changes in the first inning. User 34218 is Dan Jaffe enjoyer, I see. Yeah, he is. Georgia's going to get ranked over Texas this weekend, calling it now. Well, yeah, if Texas loses the series. I know Burris made it out. I didn't know because, like, I was watching upstairs and then I came down and I missed who made the out. So I figured the only person I think I really didn't see the at bat was Kent Schmidt. So good for him. He didn't make 2 outs in the inning because that's that's brutal. This is one of those games. There's going to be someone that goes over, and you're like, you got it. Like, how did I not get a hit off these guys? Like Advincula's got 2 doubles. And Cal's bullpen is out there going, they're shaking in their boots. They're like, don't call my name. Don't call my name. Hyrule, it's just one game, man. It is. I know, Hyrule, you got to relax. Kyle, how do I pay you for chats, Poppy? There should be something on YouTube. Like you can click to do a super chat. So if you want to do that, you can. You know, don't have to. But if you feel like I bring a lot of value and you like, you know, you want to support the stream. Cool, a plastic surgery ad. Oh, sorry about that, guys. I do not pick the ads that show up. I'll say that. That prediction from Big H is so funny now. Yeah, the prediction from Big H is not looking good. By the way, guys, if you want to join the Discord, I'm putting that in chat now. Dollar bill bottom right, 95 says. Yes, I like the way you tell Ballard and Joyer to shut up. Oof. Hey, I can do that all night. I can do this all day. I'm like Captain America. Yeah, this is kind of like boring now, man. Holy cow. Like, wow. Do you just shut down Tate McKee and pitch him tomorrow? I mean, at this point, right? Or pitch him Sunday. You know, I know he got warmed up and everything, but like just let him throw Sunday. I mean, for real. Wow, this is Eugene, South Carolina jumping all over Texas. 100%. Was expecting some more closer games today. Yeah, me too. You know another H-man who had a misguided vision of the future? Can you put in a word to get some American Eagle Sydney Sweeney ads? I'll do my best, brother. Ballard, do we have a problem? Just join the Discord. Nice, John. All right, well, we've got loads of problems, brother. How many ACC teams will host this year? Dude, and the inning is over. How many will host? I know D1 Baseball's projections, I think, had 5. I think it's going to be 5 or 6, to be honest. I think it's going to be 5 or 6. Like, obviously, we got, after this weekend, we'll have half of the season still to go, or half of the conference season to go. But I think you have like 4 for sure host right now: Georgia Tech, UNC, Florida State, Virginia. And then you have a bunch of teams outside of those that could potentially host, like depending on how they finish the conference. I knew Canes was going to come in and say Miami's going to be a host. They could be. South Carolina players remembered they're allowed to like baseball. True. All right, let's see if there's any updates to these scores here. Oregon State is beating Lamar 2-0. Real big win for Oregon State if they hold on. How about Oregon getting shut out by Michigan and getting beat 10-0? How about that, guys? I mean, wow. South Carolina is now up 9-1 on Texas. I'm sorry, guys. I'm falling way behind in chat. South Carolina players are, yeah, I said, how's Louisville doing so far this year? I know they struggled early without their best player. They've been doing okay. They've been doing okay. Kyle, do you like Redman or Blue Chew? I used to really like Redman. I'd not done Redman in a long time. But I used to really like Redman. Classic Tennessee Vol, can't spell. Not funny. I know you've talked about it before, but MLB is becoming even more unwatchable for me, and the amount of laziness and lifelessness in the players is crazy. How about the catcher? What was it for the Royals? Like the young, like 22-year-old catcher that overslept and didn't show up for the game? Did you guys see this story? What is a vol? I live in Tennessee, brother. I was joking. I like South Carolina without Paul. Just a way better vibe. They definitely have a way better vibe. Like, it was very obvious that he had lost that clubhouse last year and this year as well. Eugene, welcome to the chat. Redman wrapped in double bubble chef's kiss. Yes. Or Big Red, you know. I miss when this chat had integrity with real G's like Pygal. Hey, we got time for Pygal. Pygal will probably show up here soon. Yes, since I was 4, Hyrule said. The Royals thought the catcher was dead. Yeah, they're like, we got to call his parents and see like if everything's okay. Excuse me. Vandy is threatening here. In the top of the 8th, but there's 2 outs now. Hyrule, if we need to take it offline, we can, but what part of Tennessee? Opinion on that rookie wearing all those chains and dropping all those pop-outs? Brutal. Brutal. What would DH have done to you if you overslept? I probably would have been dead, to be honest. He would have run me so much, I probably would have died. East Tennessee, a 30-minute drive from Neyland. Kyle, settle an argument I had with Steve a couple weeks ago. Can you do over-under 25.5 push-ups right now? Please, dude. Dude, you know, I can't do it now, but I used to be able to do like 30 plus pull-ups. Are college players allowed to use nicotine in game? Allowed? I don't know. Do they? Yeah. Especially now with like Zins and Velos and stuff. Like a bunch of them are probably doing it. I mean, this is like the vape generation we're talking about. Over ACC baseball buzz. Over. Pookie Trez says he was a better gym rat than you. Just saying. You can ask anybody. Pound for pound, I was one of the strongest guys on the team. If I had Tress's frame, I would have played in the big leagues for a long time. You shouldn't be wearing 5 chains and not proven in the league. 100%. It's just a bad look. Like it's not like a terrible thing, but it's just a bad look. John, $5 super chat. John, really, hey, my favorite guy. I hate the Texas Tech baseball program. Tress has a charming smile, though. True. Same user. Or same user. Dusty Isaacs is in the chat. Gentlemen, good evening. Mott, I think, is in here, Dusty. He was saying he's the only person, he's the only one of the boys supporting the stream. Just say you don't have drip, brother. Hi, Dusty. Dusty, what's good? Dusty, thanks for joining us. Yeah, I know. It's nice of Dusty to drop by every once in a while. Everyone is here tonight. Yeah, it's a party tonight, man. We got. I mean, the Georgia Tech game's already a snoozer because it's 9-0 in the bottom of the second. Let's see how Vandy's still threatening with 2 outs. I think they must have made a pitching change or something. Thanks for the warm welcome. User, change your name to bot36228. Kyle, could you dunk a basketball? No. I can't palm it. I can't palm a basketball. My hands aren't big enough. I could jump high enough probably too, but I could never like hold on to the ball to get it up there. Another disappointing year. I could not two-hand it. I'll say it like that. I couldn't jump high enough to two-hand it. I definitely could jump high enough to one hand, but I couldn't palm the basketball. Dusty played at Georgia Tech, John. He played with me at Georgia Tech. We both came in as freshmen in 2011. Dusty, Kyle claims pound for pound I was a better athlete than every player at Georgia Tech, including and especially Dusty Isaacs. Can you confirm? I definitely didn't say that. Kyle, could you even touch the rim? Oh my God. I can touch the rim now. ACC, I wore 1 chain and a beaded chain when I played. 5 is absurd, though. And Vandy is going to make the lead 3 runs on a zooed ground ball at third base. I never could jump despite my height. That's cute, WH. Did mommy give you those chains? ACC baseball coming in hot. Kyle was not a better athlete than me. I never said that. And I actually would not claim that either. Dusty's probably, besides DeAndre Smelter, the most athletic pitcher I've probably ever played with. And don't believe anything ACC Baseball Buzz said. Thank you, Dusty. He's been talking mad smack. Oh my God. Yeah, you're right. I did say it. I did. Kyle can't dribble from half court and make a layup uncontested, no defense. What made DeAndre more athletic? Be specific. Have you seen him? He's just a supreme athlete. I mean, the guy came to Georgia Tech to play baseball, even though he could have probably gone to play football anywhere. And then just went back to play football and played in the NFL. And I think he had like some pretty big offers in basketball too. It's good to see Dusty's back. Dusty, you do not get to be Johnny come lately and trash talk our fearless leader. True. Very true. Vandy boys think they're special, but reality is they have no offense. I mean, they've scored some runs tonight. This is Spingy, by the way. No, it's not Spingy. You do look like Spingola, though. Well, DeAndre picked up football his junior year and immediately started and was drafted in the NFL in the 3rd round. Yeah, I mean, it's like he didn't just pick it up, though. I mean, he was a really good player in high school. It's not like he just like had never played in his life. But still, it's a very impressive thing what he did. Nah, I saved up for that shit. My parents had me earn a lot. That's good. User 34218 is a bot, by the way, Dusty. Just a heads up. He's not a bot. He's literally super chatted $25 tonight. Yeah, user is a bot. He's our bot, though. He's our bot. No one else can claim him. Oh, that's QW6WH. Mommy must have been so proud. ACC Baseball Buzz wants all the smoke tonight. Kyle is buying followers. Hashtag stop the steal. Hey, Dusty, Hyrule is a bot. Kane says, we are ready, baby. Canes is a Fed, by the way. That is true, Ballard. That's why I spam palm trees. I haven't seen any scores tonight, gents. What's the word? Griff turns 2 this weekend and preparing for big family weekend. So Virginia beat Florida State 4-3. Boston College beat UNC 6-1 in Chapel Hill. So Boston College is legit. And then Ole Miss is beating Florida 6-4. Texas is getting destroyed by South Carolina 9-1. Georgia destroying Mississippi State 10-2. Let me refresh just to make sure these are accurate. 10-3 now. Georgia's up. Alabama's beating Oklahoma 10-4. Auburn's destroying Arkansas 10-1. There's a lot of like lopsided games. There's not a ton of tight ones. You got 6-4 Ole Miss over Florida. Virginia and Florida State were tight. Virginia winning 4-3. Vandy and Texas A&M are kind of tight. It's in the 8th. It's 11-8 Vandy. And Vandy's still threatening. Oh, wait, maybe not. It's on the break now. And then you got Georgia Tech up 9-0 in the bottom of the 2nd inning. And then Oregon got destroyed by Michigan 10-0. So it's a lot of like lopsided games. ACC wants smoke until college football 26 is involved. True. Jackets are smoking. Cal, Dusty, happy birthday, Griff. Yeah, happy birthday to Griff, man. Kyle, my sister Phyllis turns 22 this weekend. Can you wish her happy birthday? Happy birthday. Wow, Hyrule. I'm not done with you yet. April is sweep season for Miami. Happy early birthday, Griff. Young Goat. Sam Dove, welcome to the chat. Sam Dove's in the chat? Where did I miss Dovey? Oh, he is. Boys are rolling. What's up, Dovey? Yeah, that one was already gone. That one was already down. I hadn't even seen that one. You guys are chatting like up a storm right now. Yeah, this is kind of, I mean, I was kind of looking forward to getting to basically watch a whole Georgia Tech game on stream tonight, and it's like not even worth watching. I mean, the baseball I've seen from Cal has been atrocious, brutal errors, not throwing strikes, and just getting lit up. Hey, can you say happy 80th to my grandmother, Wilma? Yeah, happy birthday, Wilma. Not intended for you, Dusty, just for Kyle. What's up, JD? How you doing? Samuel Dove in the chat. Sammy, I would like to let you know that the backhand play you made against Miami is on the Georgia Tech pregame highlight reel. Never forget. True. Dusty's on there too, striking somebody out. How much did you guys pay to get on the pregame reel? Like the stream, guys. Like this. Yeah, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Quant stream is Monday, by the way. I don't know if it's Monday. I really want to see Tate McKee. And the thing, I hate this angle, too. You can't even tell what he's throwing half the time. But I really just want to see him up 9-0. Just pound fastballs. Just let him hit it. Right? Just throw the right on right sinkers and just go complete game. He is looking good, though. Kyle trying to figure out why he was left out of the pregame reel. Man, I'd love to be in the pregame reel. The Tech Cal game is unwatchable. That's the product that they put out there. Effing embarrassing. Dude, I agree. I feel like if you're in the ACC, you should at least have a center field camera. Like, it's actually ridiculous that that a team in the ACC has this setup. Texas loses the first one. Wow. Yeah, big surprise. See y'all later. My wings are done. Oof. Oh, that sounds good. I might get some chips and salsa out or something. Dusty, you don't like the homemade score bug by Microsoft Paint? Score box, you mean? Score bug? Boneless or bone in? And what flavor? True. Kyle, can you say happy birthday to my 67-year-old father? Yeah, happy birthday. CWH, mommy says she loves you. Dusty, that's better than my ESPN highlight reel edition striking out Jameis. Striking out to Jameis? Dude, people forget Jameis Winston, like, he honestly could have been really good as a pitcher. He was like 94, 96. You guys remember that? Kyle was on the pregame reel bunting. Hell yeah. Hey, what I did best, baby. What I was known for. Hey, best bunter in the country. No one can take that away from me. That actually made me. I didn't see that. I must have missed that. I've been to 2 games this year, and I must have missed that. But I'm planning on going to the next homestand. The Cal announcers didn't know anything about the Georgia Tech team either. To start the game, they were just talking about the fact that Rammer's dad played college baseball. Yeah, I heard that. Kyle talking smack tonight, like Jameis Winston didn't K him twice. I don't think he struck me out. I don't know though. Maybe he did. I can't remember. I remember facing him and thinking, man, his breaking ball wasn't that good. But his fastball was, you're like, okay, like there's something here. Bone in. I buy them frozen and pop them in the air fryer. Seasoning is your personal choices. Oof. A little lemon pepper hot for your bush. Half mild, half spicy. Okay. I'm always like a hot or medium guy. But then I got introduced to lemon pepper hot. And oh my gosh, with some ranch. Man, I wish I could eat wings, but my stomach has been killing me. That sucks. You still not feeling great, High Roll? He was an Under Armour All-American. He was legit. He was at the time the only ever Under Armour All-American in 2 sports. Yeah, no, he was really good at baseball. Hitting-wise, he was like a switch hitter, and you could tell it's tough to hit in baseball if you play football all fall because you just don't get any at-bats. But as a pitcher, like he had a shot. High Roll is a soft stomach. Lemon pepper hot. Come on, Kyle. You ever tried it? Lemon pepper hot is goated. It's just like hot buffalo sauce with lemon pepper seasoning on it. It's fantastic. Jameis could have actually been really good on the mound. Yes. WB is Chick-fil-A Nugget Eat-a-thon coming up in a month if anybody wants to watch and help a fundraiser. Okay. Can I join you for that? Dusty, rank the top 5 athletes you played with at Tech. That's good. Lemon pepper hot is go-to. ACC. Yeah, lemon pepper hot is like elite. It's an elite wing flavor. Because whenever I don't get like just a buffalo sauce, I always feel like, man, that's kind of like what I want to, that's what I want to eat on a wing. Every once in a while you get like, the honey barbecue or like maybe like the Asian sauces, like a teriyaki or something. But I want the buffalo sauce, but then the lemon pepper just adds a dynamic to it. It's so good. Kyle, I've eaten more wings in a sitting than you have in your life. That's not true. 100% that's not true. I know what you look like. Top 5 athletes I played with? Yes, that's what he's asking. At Georgia Tech. Lemon pepper is good, JD? Yeah, it is. It's honestly probably my #1 flavor. There's a famous video of Jameis in Under Armour All-American game in baseball facing, I think, Bumgarner or another great pitcher, and the catcher was another Hall of Fame type of player. Ole Miss beats Florida. This is not good. Von Lackey is down. Best wing restaurant? I personally love Buffalo Wild Wings. No, not Buffalo Wild Wings. I'll tell you, like a hole in the wall kind of greasy spoon near me is called $3 Cafe. They have pretty good wings. I heard there's a place down like inside Atlanta, maybe in like Brookhaven, that was voted the best wings in America. And so I haven't tried that, but Hyrule type quote, best steakhouse. I love Longhorn. Yeah, that is kind of what you did, Hyrule. $3 Cafe is gas. It is. It's like the greasiest spoon in the world, but it is. Dusty says Dre far and away the best. Big gap. Jake Davies. Yep. Mott Hyde, Mark Pope, Chris Tripp. All right. Dude, the first four are all 100% right. Chris Triplett, I don't know about that. You need to play the video. You are going to love it. The pitcher's Max Fried. Kyle, $10 from user from John. John's a big spender tonight in the stream. Kyle, do you remember when I told you I'm putting $5K on Georgia Tech football to beat Colorado week 1? Yes, I do. It was a 2011 perfect game, All-American game. Monty Lee is the man, Kyle. You agree? I like Monty. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens at South Carolina. I don't think he's going to get the job, and the only reason for that is I think they're going to try to land someone and pay someone a lot of money. And certainly, like, Kevin Schnall is number one on that list. And after watching the Kevin Schnall press conference where he basically, without saying it, told all the administration of Coastal Carolina what he needs and guarantees to stay. So, you know, I'm on, but I think Monty, listen, Monty's players love playing for him. There's no doubt about that. Notice, Kyle, that nowhere in there did Dusty say Kyle Wren. All those guys that he mentioned, besides Chris Triplett, are more athletic than me, I would agree. The pitcher is Max Fried. Look at the names in this game. No, dude, I know which game you're talking about. User stole someone's credit card. Maybe. Doesn't Georgia have American Deli with fire wings? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if I've never been to. I don't think I've ever had them there. Okay, ACC, calm down, bud. Not my fault. They have a great buffet deal. I just sent you the video. Old school Taco Mac was solid too. No, Taco Mac's got good wings. I don't like their ranch dressing. And my wife loves their ranch dressing. I don't know. There's something about it. I don't like their ranch dressing. Give me like the Hidden Valley Ranch out of the bottle. That's what I want. American Deli's legit. The bot hacked someone. If you need a wing buffet, Hyrule, you should step on a treadmill and put down the College Football 26. Get Hyrule under 250. ACC baseball buzz. I think he's been in the cabinet. Kyle can't handle blue cheese like a real man. Honestly, dude, I don't like blue cheese. And I'm not the type of person like I'll never eat it. I try it on everything, and I just don't like it more than ranch. Kyle, I have on good authority the South Carolina job. Well, let us know, Dust. Like, give us some info. Hyrule is an everyman. I think he and I are becoming friends. Yeah, he is an everyman. Taco Mac, not bad, but overrated. Yeah, I think Taco Mac's wings are good. I don't like their ranch dressing. He's ACC baseball buzz tonight. Yeah, it seems like it. James Ramsey. Dude, certainly, like, if Georgia Tech does what, listen, if Georgia Tech, like, makes it to a super regional this year, and that's the first time in, 19 years? He's good, dude. He's going to be, now, I don't think James is going to leave unless, like, he gets offered. I don't think he would leave unless he got offered just some crazy amount of money. I think he would try to leverage that opportunity into a bigger contract at Georgia Tech. But, I mean, certainly with how they're playing right now, everyone's eyes are on him for an SEC job. No doubt. No doubt. So, I mean, that wouldn't surprise me at all if he's a candidate. ACC predicting my weight goals this summer. Very accurate, not going to lie. Hyrule, don't let ACC buzz shame you. I can have him deported with the snap of a finger. True. I love that Schnall press conference yesterday. JR needs to do that to Georgia Tech to keep ponying up cash. Yeah, I think it was great because he did it. It was a masterclass, really. I mean, it was like he said it without making it. You don't think South Carolina is going to pay? No, I do. I think South Carolina is going to spend a lot of money to get the program back on track. Dusty, I never said that. I didn't say South Carolina's not going to pay. I think South Carolina is probably going to try to make whichever coach they hire one of, if not the highest paid coaches in the country. Ballard or Donald Trump. AI Rule, I'm going to start calling you Porky Pig. ACC Baseball Buzz is kind of getting mean now. I don't like it. Georgia Tech is very good this year. They are. They're very good. Why would James Ramsey leave GT? That's just Dusty talking nonsense. Well, everything, listen, in life, Canes, like, all right, let's say this. Let's say James Ramsey, South Carolina AD says, job's yours, $4 million a year. You don't think he'll leave for that? And now if Georgia Tech says, hey, we'll pay, we'll up your salary big time. I don't, maybe maybe they can do enough. But like at the end of the day, like $4 million a year, like 5-year contract. All right, there's 20 mil. You're set for life. Like, what are we talking about here, Canes? GT has had 2 coaches in 30 years. It's a stable place. It's not about stability, dude. It's about like the SEC can throw money at people that not a lot of other places can. Dusty needs more time in the stream. His time away has made him ornery. What do you mean they just beat Texas? Yeah, but they have not played well, right? They've been bottom of the SEC for the last couple of years. And they just beat Texas, but they're still what, 2-8? But they aren't paying SEC money, especially with Stoudemire buyout. Yeah. Dusty, did you also play with Kyle? Was he always this soft back in the day? Oh, my God. There's one thing Dusty can say is I'm not soft. And if he says that in the stream, I'm going to be pissed. South Carolina is on track, Eugene. Well, they're looking better, but I wouldn't say they're on track yet. That's a lot to invest for a sport that doesn't make money, truthfully. After Texas, well, the sport makes money at South Carolina. If they have a good team, they get sold out every night. But the fans aren't showing up because the play on the field's been so bad. After Texas losing and ACC bullying me, I see no reason to live. Don't say that, Hyrule. Don't say that. And then you need to pay them NIL. Yep. Mercutio can't be real. I don't know who Mercutio is, but he's, No, Hyrule, don't do it. We need you to keep the stream alive. Horns down, but Hyrule's life is up. Hyrule, I stand with you. I hope Miami goes to Omaha this year. Me too. Man, Ramsey's making $300K at Tech. I would imagine. Don't know, but he's definitely going to be on SEC radar, and they're going to be offering more than $1 million. Yeah. I think that's fair. I mean, I think he maybe I don't know exactly what he's making, but I mean, he's not making what I think a lot of people would assume he's making with all these coaches making like millions of dollars. So like again, it doesn't have to be $4 million. It's like if you get offered $1 million a year, Ramsey will get a pay bump to $1 million. I don't know, dude. Georgia Tech's like stingy with the money, man. Georgia Tech should be able to pay out a bunch of money. But they don't, man. They don't. I do agree Georgia Tech would make a counter offer if they couldn't match it. Like if it would have to be something like, all right, we're going to get some kind of facility upgrade. We're going to get more money for NIL, more scholarship money, and then we'll bump your pay to a certain amount. But like, listen, if like a South Carolina goes, here's $2 million a year, can Georgia Tech match that? Are they going to be willing to match that? I don't know. Eugene, we don't do on-topic discussions here. I got one for you. Who's better, Rock Chalowski or Brennan Lawson? I think Chalowski just because I think he's a really good shortstop too. And there's not many like true shortstops at the college level that can play college. And Advincula is about to get. It's going to be a triple for Advincula. Advincula is just raking, man. You talk about one of the best portal pickups of the year. He may be the best portal pickup of the year. Meanwhile, we'll keep JD on his salary and get better results. Blue Green, I get the thought, but Georgia Tech cannot match it. The question is, how much of a hometown discount is JR willing to take? That is the question. If you think they're going to pay Ramsey $1 million, you're comical. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, I think, like I said, I think they'll make a counter offer. Like they'll bump it however much they can, but like $1 million at Georgia Tech, I don't think Ramsey will take any hometown discount. Yeah, I mean, seriously. I don't know if he would, man. Like, that's like, again, you're talking life-changing money. And Ramsey was a first rounder. He got paid, but still, like, if you get a 5-year deal, $1 million a year, and you're just like not an idiot and you're good with money, and trust me, Ramsey's good with money. I think his dad's in finance. That he'll be fine. Like you're set. So like you can't turn down something like that. Especially if the place you're at is not willing to at least make it some kind of a close offer. Hi from Monroe, Georgia. Pie Gal back in the States. Welcome back. I wanted Miami to get Advincula so badly. Yeah, he's been unbelievable. He's just such a good hitter. Great approach. There's nothing better than having someone who will never leave. What was DH making? DH was making, I think, like 500. Checking in. Signed for 1.6 in 2012, 2013. Have to take a 5 for $5 million if he gets it. Yeah. Thanks, ECC Baseball. I had a great time, but ready to be home again. I bet you're right. I bet it feels great to be home. 700 plus camp money. No, I think it was 500, and then plus camp money, it probably was up there around 650 or 700. I could be wrong though. Checking in, Brad. What's up, man? You have the same exact name as my coworker. Again, don't know, but DH was making around 500K plus camps. Yeah, that's what I always thought. And his camps did well. Yeah, his camps did well. I think it was something like I heard like maybe like 150 to 200 from the camps. And he probably took a large portion of that. So, you could call it 650. And then, he's getting like, DH was getting like a free car and stuff like that. So you factor in all those things, like, he's still making really good money. Wouldn't Ramsey have taken hometown discounts as a hitting coach? I mean, I know he had, I don't know if he had an offer in hand, but he was a serious candidate to go with Jay Johnson to LSU when Jay Johnson went to LSU, and he turned it down. And I know that because he wanted to talk to my dad about it. And that was like 4 years ago, maybe. How long has Jay Johnson been at LSU? 4 years? Yikes. Are you guys worried about Ramsey? I mean, 100% worried. 100%. That's kind of like those that are around the program. That's kind of the worry with it's kind of like it's a double-edged sword, right? Because Georgia Tech's looking the best they've looked in over a decade. And they have the best team they've had in over a decade. And with that success comes the fact that head coach, who's a brand new head coach, young, was considered like this guy's going to be a really good head coach. And now he's kind of proving that. And so think about it in these terms. If you're South Carolina, the Paul Mainieri hire made no sense because he had already retired. It's like, okay, you're going to pay a guy to come back. Like, how long is he going to be there? He can't build the program for that long. And with Ramsey, he's 36 years old. So he legitimately could be there the next 30 years, right? So that's a guy who, one, is proving that he can really, really coach as a head coach, and he's young. And he's one of the best recruiters in the country. He's probably the best hitting coach in the country. So, like, you're getting so much in that package. That's why he's going to be such a hot candidate. Ramsey loves Georgia Tech, but folks, money talks just like any other job. He is not tied to Georgia Tech. It's not about development, looking for the best players, huh? So your camps are scamming? 80 isn't going to let JR leave investing in the program. I don't know, I don't know if, I mean, listen, it's all about how much money he would get offered by another team. Not now, Hyrule. I have not looked at the football schedule, Hyrule. I haven't. Who is offering JD? Let me see. Who is offering JD to be the head coach? JD is for sure taking hometown discount. He has never left Miami besides minor league ball. Tennessee week 2 after Colorado is going to be tough. His wife is tied to GT Atlanta. Maybe that helps. I do think it helps, Nancy, but like, let's say he gets a $2 million offer on the table. And Georgia Tech says, the best we can do is 650 or 700. I don't know. And Dusty brought up a good point with the Stoudemire buyout. And obviously, like a few years ago, the Jeff Collins buyout. Like Georgia Tech's having to pay a bunch of coaches that aren't on staff that were making big money. Who would be some replacements for Ramsey? That's a good question. I'm not ready to talk that yet. But certainly only one man to replace him, 954. We are talking to him right now. Yeah, who would it be? Might be time for Dust to take over the program. True. There are no replacements for Ramsey. Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be tough to. He would be a very, very tough guy to replace. And I know a pitching coach too, Kane said. Kyle will be the next Canes head coach. Yeah. Okay. If JR ends up getting poached, opens the door for a Kyle Wren, Dusty Isaacs combo on the flats. True, it does. GT has people that are giving money to cover buyouts, Damon, Stoudemire, and Collins. I know, but listen, Georgia Tech does not pay well. Like that is well known across the ACC for coaches. Georgia Tech's coaches do not make, on average, nearly as much as like a lot of the other teams in the ACC, certainly the teams in the SEC. So all me and Dusty are saying is like, if he gets a major offer on the table, like watch out. It's 12-0 Georgia Tech now in the top of the third. Vandy still up. Actually, is this game over? It's 12-8 now. 13-8. 14-8. Vandy is winning in the bottom of the ninth, so it looks like Vandy will win that game. Please look at Notre Dame's schedule with the new rule that they are in the playoffs. If they are in the top 12, I'm betting big money on them making it. It's a cakewalk. Dusty could be head coach, and Kyle could be assistant to the head coach. Dude, Cal's bad, man. What's that, 3 errors now? 4 errors? Holy cow. Think Ryan is working on that? Well, let's hope. O'Connor at 2.9 mil at State. Couldn't Tech give 1.5 and upgrades to a program? Dude, I don't think they could give anywhere close to 1.5. I really don't. When does run rule apply? 7th? Yeah, 7th inning. Stoudemire was one of the lowest paid coaches in the ACC still. Wild. Yeah. ACC Buzz, appreciate you understanding the pecking order. Kyle works for me. Oh, my God. And another pitching change for Cal. Cal playing really bad baseball. Not pitching, not playing defense at all. All right, so Ole Miss is a final. They beat Florida 6-4. Florida's offense struggling again. South Carolina final. They beat Texas 9-1. Mississippi State. Ooh, we're going to turn to that. Mississippi State is making it a game. It's 10-7 now in the bottom of the 8th. Pull that game up. It's top 9. So Georgia is hitting. It's 10-7. So Mississippi State's still down 3. Oh my gosh, you guys are chatting so much. Notre Dame isn't making it to the playoffs after we take care of them. Tech needs to support their best sports team. I'm sure they're taking care of the new basketball coach. I agree with you, JD. Of course, Dusty, sort of implicit. Kyle is the jester and you pull the strings in the back. Ryan has said working on getting money, business, NIL. Mississippi State playing Georgia. Yeah, Georgia's up 10-7 in the top of the ninth. At Mississippi State, though. So Mississippi State still has a chance to hit in the bottom. Duke going to beat Louisville? Oh, let's see. Notre Dame did lose to NC State. Duke is beating Louisville 5-1. Canes, that's the funny part. Y'all could stomp them 100-0, and they have an 11-1 record, so the committee will give them the benefit of the doubt. Dogs versus dogs. Go dogs. Yeah. In all honesty, the way things are going, I will be really surprised if Ramsey is the head coach going into 2027. And to be real, if Vitello works with Giants, I wouldn't be shocked to see him go MLB. I don't know. MLB is just a little bit of the thing about the MLB, though, that's a little bit weird is the whole lockout potential. Like, that would worry me if I was Ramsey. But certainly that, I mean, that's a good point, Dusty. I hadn't even thought about that. Like, that does seem like if Vitello does a good job with San Francisco, like, you may see that happen more often because that's never really happened before. You know, it's been very rare. I mean, Pat Murphy's now the manager of the Brewers, and he's done a great job. And he was obviously kind of a legendary head coach at Arizona State and Notre Dame. But the Vitello thing is just really, Pat Murphy had to like grind in the minor leagues and kind of make his way up to the big leagues. So Vitello going straight to the big leagues is kind of opening up a door if he does a good job. How about this arm for Mississippi State? Lefty just pumping 97. Looks like he's about 6'8". MLB is incessant with trends. Yeah, it's like they all just start. I mean, look at all these kids getting deals that have never stepped foot in the big leagues. It's like what happens to one player and then they just bam, 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 bam. And I'll tell you what, the what's his name? Is it Connor Griffin with the Pirates? I bet his agent, when he saw those first couple deals come through, was thinking, well, he's way better than these guys, so we're going to get him a big deal. If J.R. leaves, would rather see him go MLB than another college team. I agree. Protect James Ramsey. Yeah. The question is, where is the line? How many games does someone have to play before you give them an extension? Well, I mean, it's a tough line to draw. I'll say it like that. I mean, there's so many players that everyone thinks are going to be amazing and end up being terrible. Like, think about Lewis Brinson, Brett Phillips. I mean, look at the Christian Yelich deal. Miami got nobody. 5-player deal. Miami thought they got really good players. They were all bad. And if you had asked me when that deal happened, I said, man, they got nobody. Ronald Acuna only played 110 games for the big league team before he got a contract that was 8 years, $100 million. Pretty absurd value looking back on it. Yeah, amazing value. but he at least kind of proved it in the big leagues. Notre Dame's independence baffles me because they don't even have it in all sports. It's clearly a way to circumvent college football's downsides of being a conference while having better benefits. Yeah, it is weird. Wait a second. I would love Ramsey to stay. Don't get it twisted, but he has put himself in a spot where he's highly coveted. Yeah, that's the point we're making, is that like the success he's having, like all these other schools that may be needing a new head coach at the end of this year are like, ooh, there's a guy we can go after. Notre Dame literally has a clause that benefits them as an independent team, but not UConn. Why does the Georgia player have a $20,000 chain on? I don't know. Connor Griffin, 8 for 140 is likely going to be a steal. Yeah, I think that's one where you're like, okay, you understand it, because he's been unreal. Maybe we need to get into Ryan's ears, know how to contact assistant AD Brent. He's emailed me previously. I mean, certainly. I would assume they know that is something that could happen. I would hope. If you're an AD and you don't see what's happening at Georgia Tech with baseball and think, all right, Ramsey's gonna be a highly coveted guy, then that's bad. High Rule, it's baseball season. Yeah, High Rule, it's baseball season, man. My friend literally said Lewis Brinson was going to change the Marlins. Dude, I could have told you it was the exact opposite. Did y'all know Connor Griffin has a wife? I did not know that. I think so, Dusty. Regardless, it's just buying a call option on Connor Griffin, Cooper Pratt, etc. Capture upside at a fixed value. I think the problem is, and this is something my dad always said, all right, ACC, is that the analytics guys, what an old school scout would say is like, you're dreaming on it. Right. And my dad always said the analytics guys really love to dream on a player, meaning they always kind of think like, oh yeah, he's going to reach his ceiling or close to his ceiling. And my dad's take was always, it's usually the opposite. Like usually they get to the big leagues and they're just not a great player. What's the shortstop for the old shortstop, or not this year, but the last like 3 or 4 years, the shortstop for the Yankees? Everyone kept saying, well, look at his weighted runs created and look at this and look at that. And I'm like, he's terrible defensively. He can't hit, but he's the starting shortstop for the Yankees. And the reality was he was not good. And so like, that's the point, is that, yeah, it sounds great when you say it like that. You're capturing upside at a fixed value. And it's like, all right, but what's the likelihood he reaches upside? And the likelihood is not high. Maybe it's a 10% chance. Maybe it's a 15% chance. What's the rate of return on that? That's the issue. Volpe. Yeah, Volpe. I mean, he was terrible. I can't believe he played shortstops in the big leagues. You watch the plays he made and you're like, dude, this guy is terrible defensively. Sure, but the game has gotten so analytical to where you need to see it with the eyes. Yeah, it's like, that's the hardest thing to do in baseball, is project. The hardest thing to do. Kyle loves Lewis Brinson. I have nothing wrong. I have nothing against Lewis Brinson. He's just like, he had done nothing. Struck out a ton. He had some good seasons in AAA with us. Kind of like the last month of 2016 and then in 2017, but like, he was very pitchable, and you saw that in the big leagues. The big league guys are so damn good, man. Yeah, it's like, people don't realize, like, and especially, here's the thing to consider with Cooper Pratt and a lot of these guys that are high school guys that are that talented have never played in an environment where their job is on the line. This is the thing that you have to know. In the minor leagues, if you're a high round pick, you got a lot of money, you're going to play. Even if you suck, you're going to get at bats. You're never worried about, oh, if I don't, my freshman year at Georgia Tech, I knew I had to do something that opening weekend. I had to show something, or next guy up. That's what it is in the big leagues times 100. Right? Fans are going to be tweeting at you like terrible things. So like, when I see a high school guy get it, and Connor Griffin, I think, is different. You can tell he's mature. He's mature as hell. But when I see most high school guys get like a contract like that, I'm usually thinking, that's not going to pay off. Hey, now, Dusty, don't at me. That was AC Baseball Buzz, and I can't be liable for what he spews, man. True. Ted Campfield, what's up, Ted? Please engage with chat. I am, Ted. I am. This Ted guy is fired up. Yeah, he is. Did he say something earlier that I missed? What about that guy who's never been above AA? Yeah, that's Cooper Pratt. That's the guy really that we're really focused on. And I get it. It's like 50 mil, 8 years. Like, it's not a whole lot of money, but it's Milwaukee. It's not the Yankees, right? Like, Milwaukee doesn't have a huge budget. And so my problem with that, especially for Milwaukee, is, you know, $4 million a year is you can go get a couple bullpen arms. You can get one really good bullpen arm for that. So, you know, like the guy better be at minimum, like a solid bench guy. Okay, I need to sleep. Had fun tonight, y'all. Palm Tree. Thanks for the stream, Kyle. Thanks, Hyrule. You called it last year on Volpe? Yeah, I mean, you know, it's like I don't even watch a ton of baseball, but I just look at his stat line, and then I see some highlights of him, and I'm like, all right, he's bad defensively. He can't hit. And to be honest, if you take away the fact that he played in Yankee Stadium, he doesn't even hit as many home runs. I mean, how many balls did you see him just hit barely over the fence at Yankee Stadium in right field? A ton. So that's my thing with Cooper Pratt. You add on, he hasn't really performed. And secondly, he's a high school guy who's never felt like he's competing for a job. That's a bad recipe. Kyle, I think I am in the camp that I don't think I would let Griff sign out of high school for 1 to 2 million. You with your boys? I don't know, man. My dad always told me, and then, again, inflation is a thing, but my dad always told me, I think he said like 300 or 350 is like, you know, because if you're 18 and let's say, you know, 350, you keep like 200 of that and you just live at home for a while and you invest that, dude. I mean, that's going to compound even in like 10 years. You're 28 years old. You're going to have a bunch of money in the. Did it vinculate? Oh, Will Baker. And a solo shot, 13-0. So I think 1 to 2 million, dude. I think, listen, there's part of me says I wouldn't want to trade my college experience for anything. How fun that was, playing on really good teams, getting to live the college life, like have fun with your boys. There's something I think a lot of high school players miss that. But like 1 to 2 million, I don't know, man. It would be hard for me to say, don't take that. I heard it was the CBA where the initial contracts will be shortened, so longer-term contracts will be a steal. Well, I think what I saw was that if there is, and I don't know how, I don't think the Players Association would ever agree to this, but they were saying something like if there is a salary cap in the future, like they would have to grandfather in the longer-term deals that are signed before that ruling would happen. FMK. Okay, so you're killing Byron Nome. F Jasmine Crockett, Mary Bondi, I guess. So you would let Walker sign for 1 million and let him go to a shitty motel and sleep with hookers? Okay. Oh my. I didn't do that. Is that what you did? I mean, shitty motel, yes, but not the other part. No, I wouldn't let him do that. And have to go back to school at 25 cap. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not saying it's perfect, but life's all about making choices in nuanced situations. And like 2 million, a lot of people don't make that in their entire life. Why not, Kyle? Dusty Kyle did it for less. Yeah, shoot. I mean, I had to sign though, you know. Salary always capping. Nice, Ted. Nice. Rice walks it off in the 10th inning over UTSA. Ooh. Let's check this Georgia-Mississippi State game. Why is it buffering? Why am I buffering? Kyle, is Ted one of your old teammates? I don't know. I don't know who Ted Canfield is. Let's pull him up on the stream. I don't know who that is. Maybe it's just Ted Canfield. I don't know. Well, it's 13-0, Georgia Tech versus Cal. The crazy thing is Cal's Ted is Paul Cronenfeld. You think so, Dusty? PK? If so, what's up, Paul? Trying to see where this Georgia-Mississippi State game's going. Is it the bottom of the ninth yet? Kyle, what are you sipping on? Coke Zero and lime. It's actually very, very good. Paul, nice to meet you. I don't know if it's Paul. Dusty just said that. Why is this not showing? All right, here we go. Bottom nine. Mississippi State down 10-7. See what we got here. Paul, nice to meet you. Ted is a bot? I don't know. Dusty, Kyle's wife says he can't drink real Coke. No, that's... I don't know. Maybe Coke, real Coke is better for you. I could be wrong. He gets too hyper, turns Walker into runner and Miles into kilometers. They both get hyper no matter what. Although Walker way more hyper than Miles. I've been informed Ted is actually a full-bodied African-American woman. Okay. Great. All right, gents. Need to see if the baby is asleep or if I need... He's not a baby anymore. He's a toddler. Or if I need to relieve mom. If they are both conked, I will be back. If not, let us hashtag protect James Ramsey. Good luck, Dust. Good luck. Well, 3-1 count to the leadoff hitter for Mississippi State. See if Advincula can continue. What, he's 3 for 3 with 2 doubles and a triple right now? I think Advincula is going to beat my single-season BB Core hit record. He's got a really good chance. Bye, Dusty. Thanks for showing face. Hashtag thank Dusty. Ken Schmidt is the key to Omaha run. He's good, man. He can really hit. I feel like there's more power in there. He's got a really, really honed in line drive swing. ACC Walker is an absolute problem. He is, man. He really is. He's crazy, dude. He's so smart too. I mean, it's scary. Like he just... The great thing about little kids is just like every couple days they say something that you've never heard him say before, and it's just hilarious. No, Cal is sad he left. Advincula Golden Spikes. Yeah, I mean, Cal is like, I mean, a good thing he left Cal, man. This team is terrible. Stream can finally come alive now that Dusty's gone. Pygal dropped in as soon as Dusty leaves. Pygal's been here the whole time. Ken Schmidt clutch every time though. Not as flashy as 3 Golden Spikes guys. Yeah, he's clutch, man. He is. He's very clutch. He's a great at bat. And there's a walk. Leadoff walk for Mississippi State. The guy goes, "They're a scout tonight, certainly watching this Georgia Tech team." Low-key dig at Cal. I am back, baby. Let's go. Nice. Any update on Florida State? Bailey? Yeah, he's out. He's out for the rest of the season, JD. Pretty bad ankle injury. I haven't heard exactly what it is, but from what I think Ling Jarrett even said, like I don't think he's coming back this year, and he's probably going to get drafted and leave. So that sucks for Florida State, though, because that's a huge bat in the middle of their order, and they missed him tonight. Dusty returns. Hashtag thank you, Dusty. Can we get a hot take, Dusty? You've been rather corporate and diplomatic. Game is a football score? Yeah. Yeah, 14-0. Wait, so did I missed it. Did how did they I thought it was 12-0. Did they score two? How did they score 2 runs? Thanks, Wiley Bauer Enjoyer. All right, so first two batters of the bottom of the ninth for Mississippi State reach. So runners on first and second, no outs. It is an 0-2 count to the hitter. Oof. And there's a strikeout. My wife is rooting for Cal to record out. She feels bad for them. Yeah, I know. It's like just they're like it's like watching someone get abused. You're like, just please stop. I've never not that I've ever witnessed that, okay? Maybe like in a movie or something. That's what I was talking about. Need to play well next weekend at home. Love one game is sold out. Other two close to sellouts. I mean, that's the one thing, Nancy. The games have been absolutely packed. Every home game this year, even the non-conference games, are just absolutely packed. It's been amazing to watch. I think it was the highest midweek attendance on Tuesday against Auburn. It was like 4,000, like a little over 4,000. Also, I would like to redact an earlier comment. All right, what's the redaction? Hope Tate can go into the 7th with low stress workload tonight. Yeah, it'd be great. That's what I'm saying. Is just like pound the zone, fastballs. Bus karaoke, Mike gets passed to you, Kyle. What are you singing? Be honest. Dusty is here to keep you in check. Oof. What am I singing? Seven Summers, Morgan Wallen. Dusty, you're welcome to redact anything. ACC Buzz and I will stand by you regardless. Bases loaded for Mississippi State. I said gents colloquially. That's a weird word, colloquially. I need to recognize Pie Gal. True. We have your back, Dusty. Let's hear a verse and a chorus, Kyle. And that was 7 summers of coke in Southern comfort. Were we dumb or young or just dumb or who knows? Back then you used to love the river and sipping on a sixer with me. Does it ever make you sad to know that was 7 summers ago? You like that? Any particular other words said by Morgan Wallen you'd like to recite? No, no. Oh, man. Bases loaded for Mississippi State. 1 out. Oh, Jesus, good Lord. Yeah, that was bad, huh? That was beautiful, Kyle. Thank you. Bravo. That was beautiful. What a stream. I ain't scared, you know? Do you think Dusty would do that on a live stream? I don't think so. Oh, God, 954. People forget Kyle was teammates with Adam. Get that in the game, Sasser. I was. I was. Yeah, I was. In Sioux City, Iowa. The Sioux City Explorers. Kyle, tell the chat about Walker starting to play baseball. Yeah, he's killing it, man. He's killing it. He's like it's a T-ball league, but they want them to like underhand toss to them. Oh my gosh, Mississippi State. Oh my gosh. So ground ball to first base. First baseman throws to second. Offline, Mississippi State's base runner doesn't slide, but still beats the throw. Like, what am I watching? Does this guy, I mean, do people know how to play the game? How are you not sliding there? It's amazing the stuff you see in the game now. I mean, what are we doing? But yeah, he's killing it. What's the scouting report? Really good bat to ball skills, line drive approach. He hits lefty and righty, but in the games he wants to hit righty. So I'm letting him do that right now. I'm not going to like push him to just like hit lefty in the games. I heard Johnny has scouts watching. You know Walker's far right, ACC Buzz. What does the chat think about Kyle not coaching? Do we think he has daddy issues? No, I am coach. I'm the head coach of the team. I'm the head coach of the team. You finished strong? Kyle, the game is almost dead, man. It's really sad. Like, I don't like, how do you not slide there? I mean, it's just like, is there any sense in the game? Like, if that throw was a little bit closer, he's out because he's slowing down, like he's like slowing down running to touch the base. Like, what are we? Of course, Canes drops in when it comes to time to talk about a child. Great question, Dust. Oh, and State tags it, or it's 1-run game. I guarantee the runner on second didn't tag up on this either. Great play by Georgia's second baseman. Hell of a play. He didn't tag up. What do you do? What is this guy on second base better get benched? Release the Canes files. Shouldn't someone with baseball experience be the head coach to teach the kids fundamentals? I am. For the chat, just know that Walker is my godson and I will have him right off the mound. Don't be upset. I have a scouting network across the country. People forget I am the highest nationally ranked student manager in this chat. ACC Buzz could never. That's how you win ball games. People forget Miami is the closest D1 program to Little St. James Island. Oh, yeah, that's true. Ringing cowbells. Let's go State. Hope he has Julie's arm instead of Kyle's wet noodle, but semantics. You're not wrong. 1-0 count. Runner on second. The guy did not tag up on. If you guys saw the play, if you just have a brain, you see a catch and an instant throw home, you're tagging. Going to be Walker Ohtani by the time Dusty's done with him? I hope so, man. Shoot. Hope so. A lot of breaking balls from Georgia's, I guess, closer, Aoki. Pretty sharp, too. I don't know if I've seen him throw a fastball yet. Aiden Teal, too, at the plate. Brother of Kyle Teal. Kyle once told us that he was going to demonstrate a live BP drill and then proceeded to K on 3 pitches off the machine. Did I? Except for the part where his translator takes the fall for his gambling fraud. Yeah, true. Kyle, let's open this up a bit. What are your top 5 storied college baseball teams? Like in history? Is that what you're saying? Like top 5 baseball teams in history? Kyle, can you karaoke some Memphis rap? No, I definitely cannot do that. Why would you not be tagging? So stupid. Yeah, I don't know. Because that puts so much pressure on the pitcher and the catcher, you know? Oh, ground ball to first. That's the game. Georgia wins. Or programs, I should say. Well, I think LSU. Let's think here. It's hard because Miami's definitely one of them. I was thinking USC too, but like they just haven't been relevant for so long until this year. It's hard because you have a lot of programs like that were so elite in the 90s and the early 2000s, all the way up to like 2010. And then we're just like fell off the map, like USC. I think UCLA is probably in there. Texas. Yeah, you could say Arizona State or Fullerton too. I mean, there's more than 5. But Fullerton's another one that, like, when's the last time they've been relevant? You know, and Arizona State, kind of similar. They're starting to become more relevant, but like they fell off for a while. FSU can be the other one, but they don't have a ring. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, certainly you could, if you think about programs that have put out a bunch of really good players, like UNC, for example, I mean, Georgia Tech. But certainly if you're considering like national championships, you go with the ones I mentioned earlier. Miami, LSU, Texas, USC. It's still 14-0 Georgia Tech. Yep, UGA held on. Barely. Kansas hits 4 home runs in the 9th to walk it off. Wow. Minnesota sneaky has 3 natties, but all were in the Jim Crow era. Yeah, that doesn't count. That definitely does not count. And that's where I'm like, when for all of us, most of us at least, who grew up, like we watched like Miami be unbelievable. USC, for example, Arizona State. But then for like the last 15-ish years, they haven't been quite the same. All three from 1956 to 1964 for Minnesota. Hey, dominant decade for Minnesota. If you go last 20 years, I feel like Oregon State is in the combo. Yeah, that's a good one too. No order. Miami, FSU, LSU, Arizona State, Texas. Yeah. Those are all good. 1956, a.k.a. Kyle Wren's first year in college. Not quite. At about 55 years. That was like the last time remember we were talking about Pollard last year. That was one of the things the last time Duke had made a regional was like 1964 or something. FSU, no rings, frauds. Yeah, true. But here's the thing about FSU. Mike Martin, senior, or 11, 40 straight seasons with 40 wins. That is unbelievable. Yeah, Oregon State, Dust. Last 20, it's likely Oregon State, UNC, Vandy, LSU, Florida. Yeah, Vandy's another good one. Yeah, Florida too. Like certainly in the last like 15 years. And Georgia Tech's got the backups in, I think. That's a good point. Why is FSU so revered? Yeah, because I think he has like how many College World Series trips and just never won it? I mean, think about it. 40 straight years of 40-win seasons. Like, that's insane. Yeah, UNC. I mean, there's way more you could really. It's really, you probably would have to do like a top 10 or a top 15. And Coleman Lewis just hit a bomb. I think that was Coleman Lewis, right? And that's a guy people think is going to be a really good player next year when most of this team is gone. "41 straight postseason appearances for Mike Martin at FSU." Yeah, I mean, just like Mike Martin recruited my dad when he was an assistant at FSU. That's how long he was at FSU. Because he was there, I think, 6 years prior to being the head coach. Winning it all is hard and fairly random with matchups, etc. At that point in the year, in my opinion. Corbin still only got 2, I think, and was talked about like Saban for a decade. Yeah. I think it's more about like with Mike Martin Sr., it was just like Florida State was in a super regional every year. Like they were in a super regional every year. And a ton of college. I think he had like, someone look it up. One of my quants, can you guys look it up? How many College World Series appearances for Mike Martin Sr.? I think it's a ridiculous amount. Top 5 college baseball coaches of all time. Augie, 11. Who else? I mean, I think you got to throw Jim Morris in there, right? Jim Morris, maybe. I mean, there's some old, like, what's the LSU old coach? What's the old LSU coach? Does Kyle stop acting like Frank was recruited? What do you mean? He was drafted out of high school, bro. What are you talking about? He had full, I mean, this is back for Title IX. He had full ride to Florida, Miami, and Florida State. And he was drafted by the Yankees in like the 17th round or something. And then decided that what the Yankees actually told him, like, hey, you know, if you go to junior college and do well, we'll draft you next year even higher. And then the Expos drafted him after 1 year in JUCO. The JBJ days at South Carolina were different. He was a light hitting outfielder with no pop. I think he had decent pop. It's hard to tell my dad's career because what are you talking about? We'll look it up. But he was definitely a speed guy. I mean, he slugged almost 500 in the New York Penn League, and that was his last year of his career where he was healthy. Will Baker hit another home run? Dusty, light hitting outfitter was Frank's much less handsome son, Kyle. No, Dusty, light hitting outfitter with no pop is Kyle Wren. Oh my God. Jim Morris recruited my husband out of high school when he was at DeKalb prior to GT before. Frank was a bum player, great exec bum player. He was not a bum player. Like, I don't think you understand. My dad had a brain tumor for like 2.5 years without it being diagnosed. All right, so in 56 games in New York Penn League, he had six doubles, 6 triples, 6 home runs, hit .313, on base percentage .383, .483 slugging. That was the only year. Prior to that, his first year out, he didn't hit any home runs as a 19-year-old in the Gulf Coast League. But then after 1978, he never played a full season. And so in 79 and 1980, he had a brain tumor that no one knew what was going on. He was just in and out of the hospital. And then he missed like 2 years, came back in 82, and he was like, I was not the same. Frank has same profile as Colby. Kyle, my dad was really dying and better than me at baseball. He wasn't dying, but he was a good player. Oh Jesus! Here comes the brain tumor. Yeah, that's the tumor on the brainstem where they didn't have like MRIs or anything, so they couldn't figure out what was going on. And then they had like an advanced what's it called? Not MRI, but a CAT scan machine come out, and they were able to find it. Frank Wren had a brain tumor and hit more home runs in any given season than Kyle Wren. Just saying, true. I mean, 6 home runs in 58 games is pretty good. Kyle, when are you going to tell the chat you have a twin brother? They all know. Colby's been in the chat. Now, it was the New York Penn League, which is, you know, short season A-ball, which doesn't exist anymore, but Dan Uggla killed Frank Wren. No, I don't think it was Dan Uggla. It was more like BJ Upton. BJ Upton was the one. But all the analytics guys loved BJ Upton. Like, they all loved him. Don't sleep on Freddie, though. Yeah, I mean, Freddie Freeman extension, signed Acuna, you know, Ozzie Albies, signed Acuna. Also, for the last 10 years or so, Arkansas has to be in the top 5 combo. Yep, his name is Uggla. It's Dan Uggla. Advincula's still in the game. It's 16-0 Georgia Tech now. Kyle, would you have told your dad to sign an extension after a little more than a year in the bigs with that many errors? I'd have to look at my dad didn't sign Ozzy's extension, but I would have to look at the overall like numbers and stuff. Kyle, Dusty, have you talked with Polka lately? Yeah, I talk with Dan like once a week pretty much. Upton was a punk. Yeah, he was. Johnny Venters, Frank Steele. Yeah. Eric O'Flaherty. Remember that? Remember that bullpen? Eric O'Flaherty, Johnny Venters, Craig Kimbrell. All Frank Wren guys. My dad was known actually for like finding bullpen arms and just like all of a sudden them being like the best pitchers in the country. Yeah, the Upton Bros wasn't great, but whatever. Justin was great. BJ was not. WB Arkansas would be higher if they could catch a routine pop fly. Yeah. Both Uptons. I mean, Justin Upton was great. He was great. I think his first year he hit like 280 with like 30 plus bombs. But yeah, BJ was terrible. BJ just, he got his money and I think just did not care. Which think about it now and think about it nowadays. BJ Upton was like 5 years, 75 million, I think. Like that's like that's like nothing now. Now we're paying guys 50 million that have no at bats in AAA. 261, 305, 452 with 120 Ks. What was the extension? Justin Upton wasn't great. What are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about? Dusty, do you know it? I don't think you know what you're talking about. Now I got to go to Baseball Reference here. All right, first year with Atlanta. 27 doubles, 2 triples, 27 bombs, 263, 818 OPS. Second year, 833 OPS, 34 doubles, 2 triples, 29 bombs. And so 2 years he was there, he was like an 820 OPS, basically around 30 home runs a year. (102 RBIs in 2014. Justin Upton was really fun though. But you guys did have that Sports Illustrated cover. True. 35 mil over 7 years. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, no, for sure I would do. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Because Albies also had a track record of really hitting in the minor leagues. Really hitting, switch hitter. And although he made, I'd have to look at how many errors he made, but he was a pretty slick defender and really young. So, I think 100% you'd do that. But if he had hit 230 in AA and then with no power, would I give him 50 million over 8 years? No. This is in 2018 money. Justin tied or nearly tied Braves franchise record for home runs in a month. Yeah, I think he hit like 14 or something in 1 month. Oh, Ventbrol combo was nasty. Yeah, Ventbrol was electric. Yeah, Chris Medlin. And I'll tell you this, guys, like this is inside info, but one of the things that really frustrated my dad with Bobby Cox, who's a Braves legend and rightfully so, was that Bobby, like I remember watching a game with my dad. It was on the road And if you guys remember Christian Martinez, like Christian, Christian Martinez, like Braves were winning by like 8 runs in like the 7th or 8th, and Bobby was bringing in O'Ventrell. And my dad's like, Martinez has been out there. He's been in the bullpen for 8 days and hadn't pitched. Jair Jurgens, Tommy Hansen, Julio Teheran. The Braves, basically, for a lot of my dad's tenure, had one of the best pitching staffs overall in the game. And over the 8 years he was GM, he was the winningest GM in the regular season in Major League Baseball over those 8 years. No other team had more wins in the regular season. Problem was they got to the playoffs and couldn't win. Rip Tommy Hansen, yep. Chris Medlin, LMAO, Frank was a hero. Tommy Hansen, rip. Yeah, so the Braves could really, and my dad's whole theory was you actually wanted your starters to go, like, it's totally opposite now. What you see now is like starters don't go deep at all early in the major leagues. Some do, but more veteran guys, but they try, like, everyone uses the bullpen so much. And my dad's whole theory was you actually want your starters to go deep early in the year, like specifically the first half, because then there's not a ton of load on your bullpen arms going into the second half, and they're going to be fresh. Whereas, you use your bullpen a ton like they do now in the big leagues, at some point they're going to wear down. The Charlie Morton story with the Braves is the best, because Charlie Morton obviously got traded to the Pirates from Atlanta, and or maybe it was it Charlie Morton? Yeah, I think it was Charlie Morton. And he was like doing okay in like high A, but they ended up trading him, and they found out that the high A pitching coach had told. They found that this out, Nate in the Nate McLeod deal, and they found out that the high A pitching coach had been telling Charlie Morton, "No, we want throw a four seam. We don't want you to throw a sinker." And obviously, that was like his best pitch, was a sinker. And then he got to the Pirates and just dominated because he was throwing a sinker. Well, I remember, so in the exhibition game against the Astros in 2018 with Milwaukee, or 2019, or no, 2018. So last game of spring training, we're in Houston. So Charlie Morton's on the mound. He's going to throw like an inning or two, and he just dominates our hitters. And Brewers had a really good lineup. And I remember Ryan Braun struck out. He comes back into the dugout, and he said, it looks like it moves like it's an 84 mile an hour changeup, and it's a 98 mile an hour sinker. He was just like, what is this? Which is funny that Frank knew pitching so well and couldn't get me a job. Sorry, man. Well, you know why that is? That's because these analytics guys look at my dad like he's like an idiot. Like that's literally what they think. They think, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know the FIP. Does he know what a FIP is? Does he know what FIP is? And my dad's whole point with analytics was always like, it's just numbers. Like anybody, like, doesn't take a genius. And actually, these analytics guys now, they're not even making decisions. They run it in a model, and the model says do this, and they do it. D-backs told Shelby Miller and Brandon McCarthy not to throw cutters. Yeah. That's because Dusty is a hothead. Yankees told Sonny Gray only sliders, no 12-6 curveball. Yeah, that was insane. And that's a good example of the Sonny Gray story with the Yankees is a great example of like analytics gone bad. because Sonny Gray was always known for his 12-6 curveball, even when he was at Vandy. Got to the big leagues, dominated with it, right? He was a great pitcher. And then some propeller head with the Yankees was like, well, the metrics on your slider are actually better. And so you should throw that more and not your 12-6 curveball. And then with the Yankees, he wasn't very good. And then he gets traded away or whatever happened and goes back to his 12-6. It's like, oh. Also, and he even said he threw so many sliders, he started losing his feel for his 12-6 curveball. Also didn't help that I was 92, 93 and getting shelled. Sonny Gray was like a Cy Young caliber guy too, not like you needed to reinvent him. And that's the problem, WBE, is that a lot of these analytics guys, they want to put their mark on a guy. They want to be the one that made him even better or fixed him. And I'll tell you this from my own career. So when David Stearns and Matt Arnold took over in Milwaukee, so Matt Arnold was the assistant GM, David Stearns was the GM, all of a sudden you saw this massive influx of Astros and Tampa Bay players coming to Milwaukee. And like that was, so what we called them were in AAA, because you're so close to the big leagues, you're kind of like this. Conversations like this happen. They don't happen in A-ball. But if you were acquired by David Stearns or Matt Arnold, like this one guy was, I forget his name, Rob something. He was a pitcher. We had picked him up, and he had got sent down back to AAA, and he was kind of like complaining to us, like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna get another shot. And we were like, bro, you're a Stearns guy. Like, you're fine. We're Dan, what was his name? The old GM of the Brewers. Doug Melvin. We're Doug Melvin guys. We ain't never getting a shot. We're never getting a shot. And the funny thing is, after I was released by the Brewers and I had two very high up, like high as you can get front office members call me separately without knowing it. And they told me that was the exact thing. They were like, if you were acquired by David Stearns, like he was going to have his guys come up. He didn't want Doug Melvin's guys to come up. We don't know why, but it was really weird. And they both told me that separately. So I actually told him on the phone, I was like, it's funny because that's what we said in AAA, because that's how moves were made. Damn nerds. The genius of the Astros was trade for guys, then tell them throw your two best pitches all the time. Used analytics for it, but did the simplest, smartest thing possible. Yeah, which makes sense. You know, that at least makes sense. Like, analytics can go in the right direction, but I think there's this idea that it can never go wrong, and there's a lot of teams that are doing it wrong. And Wiley, these pitch guru guys who are experts in pitch design literally can't play catch. They cannot catch and throw. Yeah, they can't play catch. They have no idea how to call a game, which is honestly the most important skill of a pitching coach, is calling a game. And if you watch a college game, like, and you know ball, you're like, what are you calling there? Why are you calling that? You know, I can tell you from being in the dugout next to Ramsey while I was there and saying, like, we can't call that pitch again. We can't call that pitch again. And then we call it and it's like bomb or double off the wall. Yeah. And so, like, pitch design's great. Can you get them to throw it for a strike? Can you call a game to put your players in a position to have success? Are you just pitching? Like, are you just going off of like the scouting reports and the heat maps and not watching a player's swing in game? And if it makes adjustments on a pitch, that was my biggest thing. Totally, Dusty. They look at the model that says two pitches don't tunnel well enough to a guy who's a 12-year third starter. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, well, they don't actually. It's like, well, has he been effective? Like, maybe we don't mess with a player who's been really effective. And there's a lot of really good hitters that have gone over the drive line, and you know they're fine tuning their swing, and all of a sudden they're not having a good year. Kyle, you and I actually said that to each other in the dugout at Vandy Regional in 2021. The next pitch, we threw another slider that got hit for a home run. Yeah. Yeah, because like if you're watching, when you're watching a hitter swing from the dugout, you can tell if one, they're on time, and two, they're on plane. So if they're like on a slider, for example, if they're out front and they're like swinging over top, all right, they're not on plane and they're not on time. Now the next pitch, if they're on plane with it, but they're just a little bit out front, can't throw that again. Can't throw that again. So like if you're just watching the hitter's swings, they'll like a hitter will tell you what to throw them. And based on like with Tate McKee, for example, against a right-handed hitter, I'm just going to pound sinkers middle in until they prove they can hit it, because they're just going to hit them in the ground and get jammed. College hitters, they're going to get blown up. Thanks for having me. Frank Wren remains goated. Good night. See you, Dust. Like it doesn't take expertise. If a guy sees two straight pitches well, you don't throw it a third time, kind of a rule of thumb. Yeah, but see, that's where that part of the game is disappearing. And it's just like, well, he doesn't handle sliders well on the, the batting average on off speed isn't great. It's like, okay, but like, what's the batting average on a slider when he's seen it 5 times in a row? That's the number. That's the metric that matters. Not just, well, yeah, you've thrown 2 fastballs in a row and you throw him a slider, his batting average is probably going to be low. When you've thrown it 4 times in a row, it's probably a lot higher. How long will they leave McKelvey in? I think they'll try to get him to finish this inning. But certainly you don't want this to turn into a big inning. And like, again, you're up 17-2, but anyway, guys, I'm probably going to call that there. I will be back tomorrow night because this game's going to be a while before it's over. But thanks for joining tonight. Appreciate you guys always joining.